We're going to cook dinner, and that video starts right now. Hello family, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. I am Vicki and you're with Grammy in the kitchen. In this kitchen, we make real food with real ingredients from scratch, 99% of the time. And the first meal I'm going to make a mini Thanksgiving dinner. I was organizing the freezers, trying to see how much meat we had and vegetables, and I found a bag of sweet potatoes that I had bought when they were on sale. I went ahead and baked them, peeled them, cut them up into cubes, and stuck them in the freezer. Plus I have half of this bag of dried sourdough bread. And I took a pack of cut up chicken, I call them fryer parts, out of the freezer. They're in the refrigerator. But I need to get started on the vegetables for the stuffing, dressing, whatever you want to call it. So I have about a cup of celery and a cup of carrots. They were frozen. I took them out yesterday. And a cup of onions. These were frozen onions that I chopped, put them in 1 cup increments and stuck it in the freezer. I have a pint-sized jar of chicken broth. I'm going to put that on the stove. Let it soften those vegetables. Now before I handle that chicken, I want to go ahead and make my spice rub that we're going to season that chicken with. So I'm going to start off with about 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to add about a tablespoon of olive oil. I'm going to put a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of onion powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, a teaspoon of salt, and this is some dry rubbed sage. I want a tablespoon, which is going to be 3 teaspoons. Let's mix that all together. So this is a whole cut up chicken minus the wings. And the breast I always cut in half just to make smaller portions. I'm going to take a paper towel and I want to dry everything off really well. Perfect. Now I'm going to take our spice blend and put it all over this chicken. Try to get it under the skin as well as on the skin. I have the oven preheating to 350 degrees. We're going to start this on the stove top and then finish it in the oven, as well as all of our sides. I'm going to wash my hands, clean up my station. We're going to move over to that stove. So I have the 12-inch cast iron skillet on the stove top. I have the heat underneath medium. That is hot. I'm going to add a little bit of avocado oil. And we're going to add our chicken skin side down. And I'm going to leave that right there for about 15 minutes before I bother turning them. I want that skin to get a nice crisp on it. We'll cook it for about 10 minutes on the other side, then we'll stick it in the oven. It has been 12 minutes. I just want to check on the chicken. Look at that, family. We're going to call it at 12 minutes. I'm going to cook it on this side between 8 and 10 minutes. Sorry, family. I lost you there for a second. I have the sourdough dry bread cubes, about 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, and 2 tablespoons of the dry rubbed sage. And this is their carrot, celery, and onions cooked in that chicken broth. Give that a toss, and if we need to add more, I have another pint right here. Now I want to taste it. I'm going to add about another cup in here of chicken broth. It does need a little bit more salt, a little bit more pepper, and another tablespoon of sage. That looks good. I have a ceramic baking dish. I'm going to coat it with some avocado oil. And let's put our stuffing in there. Covered it with aluminum foil. I'm going to go ahead and put our chicken in the oven, uncovered, and the stuffing. Now we can go ahead and make a sweet potato casserole. Now when you can find sweet potatoes on sale, just put them in the oven, cook them. Once they cool off, you can peel them and chop them up, put them on a baking sheet in a single layer until they're frozen. Then you can just dump them right into a Ziploc bag. So I got some sweet potatoes. I'm going to add about 2 teaspoons of cinnamon and brown sugar. About 2.5, 3 tablespoons. And maple syrup, probably about 1/2 cup. I do want to add just a pinch, and when I say a pinch, a very small pinch of salt. and about 3 tablespoons of butter. Cover aluminum foil, and now this is going to go in the oven. It is 5:22. I will let you know how long it takes for that chicken to get done. The white meat breast needs to be 160 to 165 degrees. The dark meat, the thighs, and the drumsticks needs to be about 175 degrees. Let me clean up a bit, wash any dishes we have dirty, bring you right back and let you know how long that took. Our chicken has been in the oven for 30 minutes. I do want to check the temperature. Everything is done. Perfect. I'm going to take the chicken out of this pan. I am not going to cover this chicken because I don't want the skin to get soggy. We're going to move this back to the stovetop. Everything else is still in the oven, but I'm going to turn this burner on. And we're going to turn this chicken schmaltz, which is chicken fat, into a delicious sauce. And we have the rest of our butter herb blend. I'm going to mix that in here. Just whisk it in. At a time. I seem to have lost a clip, family. I don't know what happened. Did I forget to hit the record button? Did it just not take? I don't know. But for that chicken, when we made that butter sauce for the Thanksgiving chicken, I lost a clip. So let me show you what I did, kind of, sort of. So imagine the chicken on this plate right here. I took the sauce and I just pour it on the side of the plate without touching the tops of the chicken because I wanted the chicken skins to stay crispy. So I poured it on the plate and then I tilted the plate so that sauce will get all over the plate underneath the chicken. Back to the video. This is going to go back in the oven until the top gets nice and crispy. Check on the sweet potatoes. Give that a little toss. And then we'll put this back in the oven and let it cook for a little bit longer. And then dinner will be ready. All the sides have been in the oven, so about 40 or 50 minutes for the sides, 30 minutes on the chicken. Let's go ahead and make a delicious plate, family. Husband, would you like dark or light? Light. Light? So I'm going to give him a piece of chicken breast, some sweet potatoes, and some stuffing. That's our mini Thanksgiving. I am going to have a thigh, and that's my plate. I'm going to put some of that pan drippings on my chicken. Sweet potatoes. Perfectly cooked, sweetened. Oh, family, that is so good. If I thought about it, I would have made some marshmallows to put on top, but I didn't. And our stuffing with homemade sourdough bread cubes. With that sage, it just tastes like fall. Oh, it's so good. And their chicken with that nice crisp skin. Oh, it's falling right off the bones. It's moist, it's tender. That butter herb blend we made, oh family, that is so good. Well, this is plenty for the husband and I to have dinner tonight, lunch tomorrow, possibly dinner tomorrow night, which is great. I'll just have to get up and cook breakfast. I'm gonna leave that up to the husband, let him decide what he wants to have for breakfast. I am very happy with this dinner. It's time to cook dinner. I did not share this video with you. Time got in the way. But the last time I picked up my Azure order, there's a local beef farm that was selling portions of a cow to the members of our drop. He sells to the public, but at this particular time, he was just selling to the members of our drop. I picked up about 25 pounds of beef for $255. I got a mixture of different steaks, some roast, some ground beef, and we also got a pound of stew meat. I took this out of the freezer yesterday. I had it in the refrigerator, thawing. Now it's time to take care of this. What are we having, Grammy? I don't know what to call it. I don't know what I want to call it. We're having something. We're going to make a gravy that's a kind of mixture of chicken broth and milk. And we're going to serve that over some homemade egg noodles. I had made these egg noodles probably about a year ago. I'll let them dry. I put them in a Ziploc bag. I've been sitting on my pantry shelf waiting for us for the right opportunity. Today sounds like the perfect opportunity. I have about 14 ounces of egg noodles. I got some water coming up to a boil. While that's boiling and we can pre-cook our noodles, let's get started on this beef. So I like using a cake pan when I'm doing any kind of breading because it's got a wide bottom plus some walls to help with overflow and spillage. I'll put a cup of flour. I'm going to add a pinch of salt, a pinch of pepper, and in case you haven't noticed, family, onion powder and garlic powder are my two go-to spices. I'm going to put a half a teaspoon of onion powder and a half a teaspoon of garlic powder. And I have this Herb de Provance. I got this from Azure Standard probably a little bit over a year ago. I know I need to find a jar for it. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of Herb de Provence to our flour mixture. And I keep it in this bag that it came in. Plus I have this old salt plastic container. And that way no pest or anything can get in there. Our water is coming up to a boil. I'm going to add a good pinch of salt. And I'm going to drop in the egg noodles. I'm going to cook those till al dente. And we'll give that a little stir. And once it comes up to a boil, I'm only going to cook it about 3 minutes. Now back to the flour. So we have a cup of flour, a half a teaspoon of garlic powder, a half a teaspoon of onion powder, a pinch of salt, a pinch of pepper, 2 tablespoons of Herb de Provence. We'll give that a good mix. I think I want to cut some of this beef up. I want them about a bite size. So when you scoop up some sauce and some pasta, you can have a piece of beef with each bite. So they're probably about 3/4 inch squares. I'm just going to go ahead and put it in our flour mixture as I'm cutting. I did buy some hamburger from this gentleman, last year. Really good hamburger. It's grass-fed, grass-finished. He takes care of his cows perfect. But this is the first time we bought other cuts from him. The rib steak we made last week was also bought from him in that $255 package. And I'm sure this stew meat is going to be just as good. Perfect. Just going to mix that in with the flour. Make sure everything is separated and coated very well. Just a simple breading. All right, let's move to the stove. Wash my hands. We're ready to start. So I have the standard size cast iron skillet on the stove. Flame is on medium. I'm going to add some avocado oil. And the reason I'm using avocado oil is actually has a high heat point. It can get up to about 500 degrees before it starts smoking. We're not going to get to 500 degrees, but it's safe to cook with avocado oil in a high heat setting. I'm going to let that heat up. You'll know your pan and your oil is ready when you can start seeing it shimmer and move around in there. Might even have a little bit of smoke, but that's okay. So I'm going to give that about 2 minutes. And as for the pasta, I drained it, rinsed them off, and I have them sitting in cold water waiting for us. Now you can use store-bought egg noodles. Family, that is going to be fine. Starting to see a little shimmer. Let's go ahead and add about half of this beef. And I want to make sure we brown it very well. We'll remove it from the pan. And then we will add the rest of it and do the same thing. That looks good. So I'm going to cook it about 2 or 3 minutes. Try to turn those, cook it for another 2 to 3 minutes because we're going to let them finish cooking in our sauce. Just getting a nice little brown on them. Oh, it's beautiful, family. So this is the second batch, and I noticed it's absorbing a lot of oil, so I keep adding more oil to it. We're going to need that flavor from the flour pan bits and the oil to build our sauce, so it's okay. That looks good. I'm just going to add it to this plate with the first batch. I'm going to add a couple tablespoons more of the avocado oil. We'll say 2. I want to scrape up the bottom. So I reserved 4 tablespoons of the flour with the herbs that we use to bread our beef. I am going to add 2 tablespoons. No, because I want a lot of sauce. I am going to add 3 tablespoons. And you know the rule, 1, 1, 1. 1 tablespoon of a fat, 1 tablespoon of flour to 1 cup of liquid. I am going to be doing a combination of chicken broth, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. So that's a pint of chicken broth. And I have 1 cup of milk. I'm gonna let that cook just a bit to thicken up this sauce. Taste it for any seasoning. Then we can move on with the beef and the egg noodles. It hasn't quite thickened up yet, but I do want to taste it. It needs a lot of work. I am going to add some more salt. The flavor is there. You just need to spice it up just a bit. A little bit of pepper, a half teaspoon of onion powder, half a teaspoon of garlic powder, oh family, that's what it needed. I'm going to turn it down to a medium-low, right in the middle of medium and low. I'm going to go ahead and add our beef. And any pan drippings. Make sure everything is covered up. And I'm going to come in here every now and then, just give it a good scrape on the bottom to make sure it's not sticking. If the gravy or the sauce, in this case, well, it's more like a gravy. If the sauce becomes too thick, I'll add a little bit of water. I don't think we have to worry about it being too thin. So I want to give this about 30 minutes. Let that beef finish cooking. Then it'd be time to eat dinner. You can serve this with some green beans on the side, some roasted broccoli, corn, whatever you want. Husband and I are just simple people, and this is enough to get us through tonight for dinner, plus lunch tomorrow. So my egg noodles did break up a bit. Store-bought egg noodles won't do that, but I'm okay with that. So I had them soaking in some cold water. I drained that, and I have it in a bowl. Husband's not home from work yet, but I do want to sample this with you. So we're going to put a couple pieces of beef and some of that sauce. Simple ingredients, a delicious meal. I was making this up as we go. I knew I was going to use milk and chicken broth and that Herb de Provance, but as how it would turn out, totally made up. Because what I should have done, and I'm thinking about this hindsight, just before we added the flour with the herb mixture to make that roux, I should have put in a tablespoon of tomato sauce. I need to put that in my notes. So the next time we visit this recipe, I'm going to put a little bit of tomato sauce in it. That would just give it some umami, earthy flavor. That would have been really good. So I got some egg noodles, some sauce, and a piece of beef. That Herb de Provence is so good. So when the husband gets home from work, we're going to sit down and have dinner. We'll have this lunch tomorrow. And if you're interested in any breakfast that I normally make, I am going to put at the end cards of this video, plus in the description below, a video of all the breakfasts that the husband and I eat. Pretty much just in a rotation. All right, I'll see you tomorrow, family. So the next meal we're going to make is a chuck roast in the Instant Pot. It's going to be more like a pot roast with potatoes. We need to get this seasoned, sear it in the Instant Pot. But first we're going to work on some potatoes. So I have 2 russets and 6 white potatoes. I'm just going to peel them, and I'm going to dice them into big chunks. If you hear any noise in the background, we have windows open, and the husband is outside playing in the yard doing some yard work. And of course Morty is in the window wondering why Daddy is outside, and he's not. He's an indoor cat. Let me give my potatoes a rinse. And let's go ahead and take care of this chuck roast. It's about a 2.5 pound chuck roast. I got this from a local farm that sells beef parts or steaks and stuff. I have some bones in here, some fat. I'm gonna leave all that in the pressure cooker. It'll tenderize perfect. I do need to cut it in half so it'll fit in my 8-quart pressure cooker. I just want to season it really well with some salt and pepper. So here's some pepper. And some salt. Probably going to be using 2 teaspoons of salt and about 1 teaspoon of pepper all over this roast. All right, perfect. Let me clean up a bit. Beef broth is not something I usually have on hand, but I have this better than bouillon beef flavor. I have 2 cups of water. I'm gonna put about a heaping tablespoon of better than bouillon in this water, and that's gonna give me a beef broth. And we have some dry onion flakes. I'm gonna put about a third of a cup in here, and I'm eyeballing it. That looks good. We don't have to worry about salt and pepper because we have salt and pepper on our beef, and the better than bouillon has salt in it. So that is all we're gonna do. All right, let's go ahead and move to the Instant Pot. So I'm gonna hit the saute button, let that heat up, and put some avocado oil in here. We're going to let that heat up and we're going to sear our meat. I think that is hot enough. We're going to do 1 piece at a time. And I'm going to sear for about 3 to 5 minutes on each side, both pieces. Oh, that's a beautiful color, family. Beautiful. And now the other half. Another 3 to 5 minutes, flip it, 3 to 5 minutes. So I have some dry tomato powder. I got this from Azure Standard in a 1-pound bag. Keep it in a mason jar. I put 2 tablespoons of tomato powder with just 1 tablespoon of water, and it makes a perfect paste. That way I don't have to open up a whole can. Family, I hope this shows up on the video because this is browned perfect. Let's start working on our base. I still have it on the saute. I'm going to add the tomato paste. And now we're going to add the 2 cups of beef broth with that onion. It's more like the onion soup packet, but we get to control the ingredients. Now I do want to go in here and make sure I scrape the bottom of this pan, because if you cooked with an Instant Pot, you will know that if there's any burnt bits on the bottom of your insert, a burnt warning will show and it'll stop cooking. So we just want to scrape that into our sauce. It already smells good. I think we are safe. I think I want to add another cup of water. So that's a total of 3 cups of water. We're going to dump in our potatoes. And we're going to add our roast right on top. Preferably in a single layer, but we're probably not going to be able to get it all in a single layer because that was a big piece of meat. I hit the beef stew button for 15 minutes. The lid's going to go on. It's going to build up pressure and it's going to cook for 15 minutes. I want to let it natural release. We're not going to hit the manual release button, and then dinner will be ready. And I think I'm going to open up one of our home canned lima beans, Morty. I want to introduce you to Morty. This is Morty. I know you heard me talk about him all the time, but he's upset because Daddy's outside. The grandsons call him Chunky. All right, now I got to go wash my hands. I need to wash my hands, wash the dishes, put everything back into the pantry while we're waiting for dinner. The roast was cooking in the Instant Pot for 15 minutes. I let it natural release, and it actually took an additional 41 minutes. I'm going to get everything out. The beef. Oh, family, it's just falling apart. And I'm going to take the potatoes out. All right, that is good. I'm going to put this back in the base. There's still a few potatoes in it, but that's okay. I'm going to hit the saute button. I'm going to let that come to a boil. All right, we're up to a boil. I have a cornstarch slurry with about 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and 1.5 tablespoons of cold water. We're going to whisk that in. Oh, that is beautiful. And I'm going to whisk in about 2 teaspoons of butter. That's 1. And 2. I got a potato in here. All right, I'm going to turn that off. And I do want to cut this roast up, remove any of the fat. And now we're going to pour our gravy right on top of everything. And I have some home canned baby lima beans. I think that's going to be the next video. Grab a couple pieces of beef. Definitely want some potatoes. Oh, family, look at that. It's beautiful. And some lima beans. I don't know about you, but I'm excited. That is really good, flavored, beautiful. Our potatoes are cooked to perfection. It's light and creamy, better than mashed potatoes. And home canned lima beans. Well, that's what we're having for dinner. Can't wait to bring you back in the kitchen. We'll cook another delicious homemade meal from scratch. Well, it's the end of the week. We're going to make the last dinner. So I took out 2 of our home canned soup casserole starters. This has turkey that we found on sale last year right before Thanksgiving. I bought a bag of mixed vegetables. So we cooked the turkey, took all the bones, made a broth. So all of this is home canned. Now you can turn this into a casserole, a turkey pot pie, turkey and rice, whatever you want to do. We're going to make soup. And I have 8 ounces of macaroni. If you saw the video where we were canning on our workcation, and I told you when we were making the bean and bacon soup, I only have 7 pints of chicken broth. I am waiting for chicken to go on sale so I could get some backbones after I process that chicken and turn it into skinless, boneless chicken or into fryer parts to put in the freezer. And I need those backbones to make more chicken stock. So I'm waiting for that. So we're going to be using water and some vegetable better than bouillon base. Now if you have chicken stock or turkey stock or vegetable stock, you can use that. I'm just trying to save on my jarred broth. So I'm just going to use this. So I'm just going to finish whatever is in here, probably about a tablespoon. And we're just going to make broth right here. I'm going to add a little bit into this jar and give it a good shake. Just make sure we get all the goodness out of here. There we go. So now I have a quart of stock. I'm going to pour that. Let me move my coffee out of the way. I'm going to pour that into the stock pot. Make sure we get all that goodness out of here. And I'm going to put this on the stove. I have it set on medium heat. I'm going to put a lid on that pot, and once it comes up to a boil, then we can add our pasta and just cook it just like regular pasta in boiling water. So it's going to be flavored with the soup. And the reason I decided I want to make soup, because that's a hands-off thing. Just let it come to a boil, add the pasta, let the pasta cook, and dinner's done. I baked some bread, and I didn't want sandwiches, didn't want French toast. I wanted something to go with it. So I decided to make soup. Bread's been in the oven for an hour, and I decided to make an artisan sourdough bread in the Dutch oven, but I need to check the temperature. Bread needs to be between 205 and 215 degrees. We're at 210. We're good. So our soup has come up to a boil. Now everything in here so far is cooked. It's ready to eat. But I want to turn this into turkey noodle soup. That is why we're adding 8 ounces of macaroni. You can use any kind of pasta of your choice. You can actually use egg noodles if you want. I'm going to let that cook for about 7-8 minutes. We'll check the doneness of the noodles. We'll extend the time if we need to. If it's good, it's good. So you can start seeing the macaroni absorbing the liquid and cooking. We still have a few more minutes left. It smells so good, family. In about less than 5 minutes, we're going to have dinner. And now we have dinner. Turkey noodle soup with home canned turkey soup casserole starter and some homemade bread. Now in the description below, I'll have all the links to anything pertaining to this video. Buying the turkey when we got it on sale, and plus a video on how we made and canned our turkey casserole starter. As for the bread, that's a whole nother video, because this is an experiment bread and I think it's a flop. But we're not going to waste it. We're going to eat it. Whatever we don't eat in the day or two, I'm going to go ahead and turn it into breadcrumbs. It will not go to waste. But as for the soup, looks delicious. And it's hot. Super hot. So that's the meals we had this week. I hope you get inspiration to get into your kitchen and learn how to cook real food using real ingredients to feed your family. If you would, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. While you're at it, please subscribe. I will absolutely love to have you part of the Grammy family. We're not friends. We are family. That's why I always refer to you as family and not friends. We're family. So until next time, y'all have a blessed day. Bye, family. I love quick, easy meals. I'm happy.